Hi, I'm Alix Paultre, and I'm here at the Things Conference in Amsterdam with Vitali Damasevich from Arrow. How's it going, Vitali?
Very good. We're very happy to be here. Hi.
Is this your first show, second show?
Oh, with TDN is first show.
With you personally or with Arrow in general?
Personally and with Arrow in general.
Oh, so this is Arrow's first show.
Yes.
Well, which is very interesting because Arrow is a huge distributor and it's got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. So it's interesting to see now you're coming around to us.
Yeah, I mean, we also are looking for partnerships. We are looking for ecosystems. Yeah, and it was really interesting for us when Venke reached us, said, okay, do you want to be here? Do you want to present what Arrow can do for this ecosystem, how they can contribute into? And by the way, he said also about his new node, which was very interesting for us to pick on as well.
Well, but the interesting aspect, there are multiple interesting aspects, and we're going to touch on all of them. We don't have a lot of time, but we're going to touch on as many as we can. But the first one I can think of is, as a major distributor, you see where the parts are going. You see who's using what technologies. What are your observations when it comes to LoRa?
So, what I can say, 10 years ago, IoT was a buzzword, right? So, and now, being here, you clearly see it's our life, yeah? Its presence, yeah? And it's developing. So you see that also not only devices, applications are being developing, but also silicon vendors, chip makers, they're adding additional benefits to their chips. So today we see, for example, this solution from ST, yeah, which we are showcasing as well. I mean, it's already a single chip solution for the LoRa development, right? So before it was a couple of chips, you should have microprocessor, you should have a Semtech, module and so on. Now it's smaller, less power consumption, more interesting for the customer. So this also drives the development of this LoRa, ecosystem and application.
Well, and then, so we've got device partnerships, we've got development partnerships, we've got companies working together. Do you find it, because this is a growing space, that you see more of that kind of collaboration, or is it par for the course with developing advanced technologies?
No, for sure. I mean, as I said, we really believe into ecosystems, and we believe that ecosystems can find synergies and grow itself. So this is very interesting. So before, take 20 years ago, so companies were really sort of separated, competing to each other. Now everybody understands that it's not possible to have all competences in one company. So you need to collaborate. You should collaborate, right? You should create these ecosystems, boost each other, help to each other. This is very interesting.
Well, I agree completely. Now, one of the things that's also interesting, because you do see the whole ecosystem, are there any, I'm asking everyone this because I'm very curious, are there any verticals that you see that are specifically growing faster than others, or is it a case of everyone's pretty much getting it at the same time, or are some people faster than others in adoption?
So I would say, there are a couple of mega trends in electronics right now, yeah. So, and those are definitely connected to the power conversion, for example, right? We see electrification, so we see this smart everything is another one. So everything is becoming smart, AI is, being deployed and so on. So those I would say 2-3, big mega trends which are driving, all developments.
Excellent. Now, having said that, right, and I was keying on the fact that you're a distributor, but you're also a development partner, aren't you? So you're also having people come to you and ask you for help in solving this LoRaWAN deployment issue, right?
Yes, exactly. So Arrow is a distributor, as you said, so we were doing and helping to customers, and we are doing that with the logistic issues before, but now we are ready to go with the engineering services, and we're pushing on that a lot. Maybe you heard about that we several years ago, we bought a big company in India, R&D house, called the InfoChips. It's now our engineering service provider. And also we are really pushing on the supply chain services. So recently we opened here in Netherlands a new DLC, which is really state-of-the-art logistics center, which can help everybody to build the devices, to produce the devices, to get components on time and so on.
Well, and so when we talk about that, and supply chain is an issue, because if you think about it, COVID threw a lot of things apart. But in another way, it was kind of a perfect storm to gel other technologies like collaborative design or more remote monitoring. So in other words, it actually helped LoRa in one sense because people wanted to do more remotely.
Yeah, for sure. And today there was also a very interesting example during the keynote about the medical. Yeah, so remote medical things. I think it's also booming. The countries, especially UK, we see a huge request for that. Yeah.
So when it comes to development now, right? Are they coming to you as more of a distributor, supply chain, development help in making sure my bill of materials is in order? Or are these people still trying to understand the core technologies and need your engineers to help them develop those technologies and implement them?
Yeah, for sure. Both. Yeah, both. But definitely right now we are ready to help them with the understanding of technology, make proof of concepts, for example, or deploy technology itself, from the scratch to the production. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, and this is another question I've been asking because it's a fun one. What are some of the more interesting application spaces that you've had to develop a solution for? Something quirky, interesting.
Oh, we have 220,000 customers. Yeah, so we are serving across the electronic industry. So there's many interesting ones, but I would say we're a couple of applications around the logistic services where these trackers and so on. So those are for sure the big one. It's around the EV charging. Mm-hmm. So this infrastructure which is building everywhere right now. So I can tell you that number of cars are way bigger than number of charging points right now, and this is a big opportunity for a lot of companies.
Well, Vitali, when you think about that, right? When you think about Internet of Things and LoRaWAN, charging isn't the first thing that pops into your head, and yet you just brought that one up. How many other application spaces there are probably lots of them, but when you think about it, there are other application spaces that the average person or even the average engineer doesn't think can be leveraged or benefited by LoRa, but can be.
Oh, no, to be honest, it's infinite number, right? I would say infinite number because as well, if you look on the semiconductor manufacturers who are producing sensors, they add every single day, I would say, a new type of sensor. Yeah, so they add functionality to the sensors, which gives you possibility to open up your mind, open up your creativity and do whatever you want. So you sense, you send, you store this data, send this data, you work with this data, you aggregate this data, and then make some business insights out of that. It's all about this IoT, right? So, but again, sensors, connectivities, which are developing every single day, they creating possibilities for the people to really, for the infinite, applications and opportunities.
Well, I agree. That's a very good point to make. So, when you think about going into all of this, do you have any advice in development? What should you do first? What are some of the thoughts that you should have in your head when you go to your developer and you go to your distributor to save you the trouble of sorting it out for them?
Yeah, sure. And this was very interesting for us about the decision of the Things Network, right? So they created a platform. And as a first idea, go to this platform. Look on this platform because it's already ready-made, solution that you can try your application and then you can customize it and do your device, right? And to be honest, I didn't expect that TTN will do that smart step, right? Because they are middleware, supplier and manufacturer, but now they created something which really will develop the ecosystem. So some hardware piece, yeah, and they asked us, Aero, to support this hardware piece and help customers to understand this hardware, or customize hardware if needed, and so on. So this is very interesting, approach. And I would say again, as advice, go to this generic node, look on that, try that, and then you will find a way to, or we will help as well to find a way how to make application and device out of the node.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Vitali. I really appreciate you using this time to talk to us, especially during a busy show like this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget, stay on because our next segment is going to be with Johan Stocking from the Things industry and Day One Impressions.